Let's just, yeah, so it's picking up that, speaking of video.
Are we on?
I guess we're on, yeah, looks like it's recording.
It's recording, okay.
So, all right, let's
We can
go.
Call the meeting to order at
17.
6:17 PM, July 10th, 2025. Start with the roll call.
Paul St. Armand,
Colleen Hodges.
Alex Berardo for staff.
Maureen Buffy.
Nick Longo.
Roma Smith. Minutes has everybody read the minutes from May 1st? Yes.
Alex, you've got the pictures I sent after when I resent them to me, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Of Reed School? Yeah.
We have a motion to accept the minutes. Make a motion. Second? I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the CLG grant. What's going on with that?
It's probably just as well to go through the updates by going through
Yep.
the progress report. Which it's basically time to upload, so it's a good time to go over it and then get it posted as long as we're all, yeah, fine with it. So Nick kindly put together the form. I threw in the dates, like the factual dates and times kind of piece of it. But in this last quarter, that's when really a lot of the substance of the project was done. So in the previous one, just before the end of March, where that previous reporting period went, that's when our consultant went out to take most of the pictures. So in the time since, he was putting together the draft of the report itself, cleaning up the spreadsheet that details and the format that the state wants each of the properties that he thought were contributing and what the photo references were. So those working drafts were submitted. And as they were submitted, little things would get noticed, like a couple of the photos didn't go through, and so he'd use placeholder ones from the assessors. They said, okay, well, we need real photos that were recently taken. So because he's already back out there, I went out on one of those 90-degree days. I figured, it'll be, everybody likes an adventure every so often. So
Especially get out of the office, right?
yeah, it got me out of the office. So I went early enough in the morning. Got to walk around a bit, take some of those pictures. There was one other one, just I think Monday. There were two others that hadn't been done. So my the housing planner here, Dennis, went out and did it. So he was a good sport with less heat.
Yep.
So he survived just fine too. There's some of that the consultant's working through right now. A few more edits to the report itself. Some of it's just typo stuff, and then others are like fleshing out a little bit more what makes the two villages distinct. So in the end, I think I may have said at the last meeting, he does think, after having gone through, because I know Arkwright, he wasn't sure if it was or wasn't going to be intact enough that he thought it made sense as its own district, but he did decide in the end that he thought it was. So part of it is, just on the face of it, you've got two villages that are geographically close. Both are mill villages. Both were solicited through the same project. Like, it would be easy for an outside observer to think, are you just going to nominate like one giant district that tried to assume them both? So it's more like just to flesh out why it is that it makes sense to nominate them as two separate districts. So it's things like that.
So why does it make sense to make it two separate districts?
That's what he's getting into.
Oh, he's trying to figure out whether it should be two or one.
Like his stance was going, and once he, put together that first full draft, yeah, he had recommended that they be two. And so we're just saying it would be helpful. Like, we figured, it's probably a question that like somebody who's coming at it for the first time, I guess, might wonder. you know, when you look at them on the map, that they're two different districts that are right next to each other. From the way that he did it, he mostly caught residential architecture. I think he's expanding the
Is-
scope a little bit to get the mills too.
Do the borders of the two villages touch?
They don't, but they come close.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think it probably makes sense
Yeah.
for them to be two, but
Well,
he's just, it's to explain, you know, what's basically
To
what,
articulate
yeah,
it.
what is the basis for that recommendation?
but, and that makes sense, but what would the advantage be if we made it one big large district with the feds or, whatever that federal organization is that does the determinations?
Mhm.
If we said we've got this massive area with hundreds of historic buildings, wouldn't that be more powerful? I just
Yeah,
throw it out there,
I
maybe,
don't
maybe
think-
not.
The state hasn't made it seem like it, like, yeah, the overall size makes a difference, then like it would be more
Powerhouse.
advantageous for one. They basically saw like the same underlying like the way that I asked this question that I'm describing it is kind of what they were looking at too, just it's perfectly fine if it's two, and if they happen to be in close proximity, but it's just, you know, just address why it is that you think that they would be two.
How about financially for administering this thing, like when we write the nomination, would it be more cost effective and better for
Hmm.
time to write up as one big one or two whole separate?
I think it comes out,
Applications.
I think it's probably gonna come out in the wash, just because it's the same, however you cut it, it's the same number of properties to document,
Yeah,
so.
one
They-
long project or two short ones, I guess.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's definitely something I can ask, but like I said, they didn't seem to approach it like that, so that was kind of my, you know, the vibe sense.
Yeah.
That it didn't really, it would be fine if it was two, it's just, if it is gonna be two, then you just explain why it is that you think it's two.
Do the applications cost money to submit?
No, but just
Once you get
staff
to the
time.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
just-
so if you're gonna do.
I
the
feel
same
like it's,
amount of
yeah,
houses,
it's probably gonna end up being the
The
same.
applications don't cost anything, then you're still the same amount of properties, same amount of stuff.
Cause it's, in theory, I guess you could say, so it'll be two narrative, you know what I mean, if it's
Two,
two
yeah.
separate nomination forms,
be
then okay,
two.
two narratives, but by that same token, I mean, that's what the single
Mhm.
survey report is meant to do.
Yeah, we can just clone the common elements between the two and
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
add the.
and he
custom-
does speak to, you know, he does describe, in the, like, the background section, the histories of the two villages, so, you know, which again are getting fleshed out a little more.
Well, all of that's lifted from books we already have, so.
Mhm. But even so, if that saves you one background section,
Mhm.
it's one less
Sure,
background section,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's still coming along, but we expect basically it's gonna be by the end of this month that the final drafts incorporating those requested edits are made. So pretty much by that first week or two of August, it's pretty much checking to make sure that everything looks to be in order, that we've got all the pieces. The one piece that's left that is still in production is maps of the survey boundary, you know, the district boundaries. So it's a little bit caught up. It's status quo would point to, if we're assuming two villages, it's gonna be two village boundaries. But drawing those up just took a little while, because to keep a long story short, there was a way that I could think of doing it with our own GIS, so we didn't have to, you know, ask anybody else.
Right.
Ooh. Let's just make sure, okay, wanted to make sure I didn't kill the video, but, it was, yeah, I had to call up the old summer intern from last
Mhm.
year, try to figure out how he did it, and he's saying, oh, that function's gone now, they
Oh.
changed it.
Mm.
So I found a very roundabout way of doing it. So that one is still in the works too.
Hmm.
But
But we still have a meeting with him on the 21st.
that would be, so yeah, that is an important thing to get to as well. I guess maybe we should tie the bow on this report first. If you guys wanted to, unless you've already, while I was yammering on, had a chance to look at
One
how it
thing-
was written.
One thing I would just jump in there with,
Yeah.
I don't wanna get out of order or anything, but, so what you just said was that we're gonna have all of the final materials by the end of July.
Mhm.
And I picked August 30th as the date for final documentation, along with the final project report of August 30th. Does that fit the plan? Because also,
That is, yeah, I think that's right. He's giving us by July 30th.
Yep.
His draft materials, and then I think, yeah.
30
by-
days to pretty it up and.
Yeah, because I
cross
think
the
it's by
T.
August 30th that we get it to the state, and then the state I believe, has until September 30th to truly close everything out with the feds.
However, I went on eCivis this morning and, they moved the closeout approval date to 12/29/25.
Interesting.
So maybe you could look at it too, just to make sure I haven't misinterpreted that.
The last time that they emailed me, which was within the last 2 weeks, they were, I know that they had said by September 30th, we have to have that thing done.
Okay,
I don't know if that means, it could mean one of two things. Maybe they just, a proclamation just came down from on high that says that they have that extra time.
yeah.
Or, maybe that's like another internal deadline of some kind.
Do you want me to contact that woman? What's her name? I've emailed her
Is
before.
it Sarah maybe, or Donna?
Donna, I think.
Hmm.
Or no, whichever one. I'll go back in my emails and find where I had a nice conversation back and forth with her.
Yeah.
And I can ask her about that.
Okay, sure. Yeah, just to make sure that we're the date that we list here is, I think you were right, that it's August 30th is the one that we give back to them,
Yeah,
but.
well, I think August 30th. It's not in the most recent revision of the project schedule. The project schedule that was approved on March 20th. This is the actual document from the grant contract kind of thing. So the whole thing ended on July 30th with final reimbursement to town for eligible project costs.
Mhm.
So now I'm pretty sure that they're saying that happens on 12/29.
Hmm.
So
It's
at any
all-
rate, they're not gonna finalize it July 30th, so we know that much for sure.
Yes, which, trust me, they also know. I mean, it's the way that it all shook out.
Mhm.
Our consultant having the car trouble and his,
They're used to it.
yeah,
We're not the only ones that have been late.
his son also was, I think he'd received like a full liver transplant at one point during, so he had some extenuating circumstances, but in any case, yeah, we'll just make sure that we got that date correct. But like I said, it passed the smell test on my first read. I think that's basically what the state assumes is the case.
So this is the new report that was submitted.
Well, we will
Well,
submit it as long as,
Yeah,
I'm gonna submit it with everyone's approval, any changes to narrative or anything you see that needs to be adjusted or said differently.
if you got anything to suggest, feel free
Looks
to.
fine to me.
Okay,
do you want to do a motion?
sure, why not, yeah. We'll take a motion, I guess, then,
Motion to accept
Yeah.
this progress report.
as drafted up, yeah.
I second.
Did somebody make the motion?
I'll make a mo-
You make the motion, I'll second.
Okay.
I didn't think anybody.
I make a motion to accept the CLG Grant Progress Report as written.
Second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted.
So if you circle then back
Mhm.
to the question that Colleen started to ask about the date in the meeting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the last that I'd asked over email, for the sake of argument, I said, how about the 21st? In these last, during this past week, Sarah and Donna from RHPHC had said that they both have a obligation that night and wouldn't be able to attend. Is there any chance that the previous day, the 20th, would work for you guys? Do you know if you have anything going on that day? They, I think, have, are at,
Wednesday, yeah.
yeah, Wednesday night.
Oh, I work Wednesday night.
I don't know that they felt particularly, like, I think probably in a perfect world they'd like to attend, but I don't think that they saw it as so critical that, they would want us to uproot any plans we may have had. So I thought I would just throw it out there in case it worked, but you guys let me know.
So you're saying that
Either
the RIHPHC people can't attend on Wednesday
On Thursday,
and Thursday? So we move it to Wednesday so they can attend?
yeah, that's
And where
basically.
is this gonna be?
I'm thinking probably the town council chambers. It doesn't look like it's booked for anything that night. So that would be my first preference, I think. Because in theory, it's air conditioned. In practice, I don't know, but in theory,
So with the setup of that room, how would we organize our discussion?
I think, well, so the meat of the event is like public presentation. So it would be kind of like a
Okay.
special meeting. In theory, we could start it off like, you could look, I mean, you could even just stand up at the front of the room and say, you know, it's a special meeting, but for the heck of it, since we're gathered, we're gonna, you know, take roll call as if this were an HPC meeting.
Mhm.
Since again, if you were all in the same
Mhm.
room, but yeah, it would probably be set up like they have that projector or
Yep,
or
two
wheel
screens.
one of the TV screens right in the center.
Next
Set out
slide,
some of the
next
chairs
slide.
like they would, and so yeah, I think the plan is for our consultant mostly to present things in the form of a PowerPoint. And then probably have like a rotating display either ongoing on the side or maybe after he does like his initial talk of the photos that he took of the villages. Um, I think that's generally the idea. It's a moment to have sort of that contact with the public to let them know what it was that was found, and because it dovetails nicely with the 250th, the ongoing things that the town wants to celebrate.
So this is gonna be open to the public?
Yes, it would be open to the public, and I think they want to advertise it too on the Rhode Island 250th website or whatever it is,
Oh,
the
good.
event
What
calendar.
time?
So,
I think the time is up to us. I had suggested 6 just because we're used to it.
6 is good, because a lot of people, you know, older people, they go to bed early.
Yeah, I figured
Not I, just.
Yeah. 6 felt like a time that
No,
it gives people a chance, like if they wanted to
Yeah.
go, they can get out of work and get over
Yeah.
here. They don't have to, get out of work
are
early.
we supposed to do anything for this?
I don't think
It's
so.
him doing the
Yeah.
presentation, okay.
I think it's basically him. The state was also, Sarah at one point had said that she was prepared to do a presentation too, but I think only if David wasn't already planning on it. So who knows, maybe they'll say a few words too.
Mhm.
But I don't think there's really much involved on our part besides just to get to curate the public discussion,
And to interface with the state people too,
Yeah.
so anytime we have a chance to
Yes.
glad hand them, it's good.
Hmm.
Do you wanna do refreshments for this thing?
That could be nice. I mean, we do have a budget. We could maybe get something simple, just a couple of like
Heavy on
Yeah,
water.
cookies and water, cans of soda. People probably want that.
God knows, I had not
It's usually
noticed that
when you
lately.
go to these things.
Yeah. And it never hurts to bring in the
Yeah.
crowds, right?
About strawberry shortcake.
Oh, that'd be nice this time of year.
One,
But-
so that was quite enough. I think we'll pass on that for a while. How about strawberry shortcake out? Thank you so much.
Nick or Alex, have you seen the pictures and stuff that he's done? You must have seen
Yeah.
them already.
Yeah, I looked at them.
They were, we showed the lion's share of them, what was it?
Last,
Yeah.
Last year or
Meter
whatever.
last year? Yeah. And getting to go out there too, it was nice in a way for those, extra 9 pictures to get to walk around and see it, see the same buildings I only had seen on the screen for the most part before. So it'll be good when he flushes it out and adds in the mills in the districts. It'll kind of complete the picture.
And I'll just put this out for everybody here. On September 18th, we're doing one of my grandfather's presentations in the town hall chambers. Coventry Library is sponsoring it. They had contacted me a month ago
What time is
to
that?
set up September 18th at 6 o'clock.
I already had that in there, but I didn't have a time.
If anybody wants to visit.
Council chamber?
Is that going to be co-branded too with the 250th celebrations, or is it just a general
My
history
grandfather's
lecture?
story? No, it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with that. It's all about his maps and his life and forest ranger career,
Mhm.
fighting forest fires and the history of all that in the 30s and 40s and 50s and stuff.
Did he fight fires here in the state?
Yeah.
Wow. I know we had a
Most
couple.
people aren't aware of how severe the forest fires were starting
Yeah.
pretty
They were
much in the
terrible.
30s.
Terrible.
I've got a lot of newspaper clippings and stuff like that that I've scanned. I
Wow.
mean, people from Situate Preservation that puts it on for me and that did a really good job, researching a lot more.
Were there fire towers besides that
Yeah,
one that was in
I've got
Richmond?
pictures of them all, and
Wow.
I got a map my grandfather did with where the locations of them.
Oh,
There was
wow.
one here in Coventry, right up there in central Coventry on what's that, Bowen Hill Road. Bowen Hill was totally nude back then. It was all farmland.
Wow.
It was just fields, and they had one of the first fire towers was there up there.
It's a shame more of them didn't survive. Those things are popular to hike
When
too.
I was young, I didn't realize any of that stuff had even happened. I mean, it was just foreign to our, there's nobody ever talked about
The
it.
biggest forest fire that ever occurred in Rhode Island occurred in Coventry, Situate, and up into Foster. And they called out the National Guard. They had, the whole thing going on. It burnt, I don't know, something like, what, 50,000 acres?
And they caught the guy, right, that said it?
Oh,
I
that's
I
an
don't
arson.
know if
I think I read that somewhere. I don't know.
Well, that might have been a different one, but I don't know
I
about
thought
that
about the one that
because there
was
was
on the
someone
117
setting
in
fires.
Western Coventry.
And
No.
I'll send you a link on it one time, because there's a
Yeah.
whole story on it. That was spring of 42, I believe it was, because the war had just started. And it was all tied into sabotage,
Yeah.
because they were burning. Rhode Island had some of the best forests with hardwoods and pine. And they were harvesting a lot of it to use for the war effort. And they literally burnt over 1 million board feet of lumber with this stuff, kind of in the
Yeah.
process of doing it and burning all this forest stuff. But it's a whole story that's covered in that, because it's not just about my grandfather, but, we feature a lot of the maps and all that stuff he did.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
I would
so
like
is that
to
gonna be
see it.
similar to the one that we went to in Warwick? Okay,
same one,
that
it's
one's
the same thing.
that's
You
very
don't,
good.
that's why you see.
So I'll probably some anyway,
Yeah.
because I'll hear something new, but
More for Alex.
Yeah.
He would learn a lot about
yeah.
No, I'd like to
that
see it,
period
yeah.
of time. So
And you have all your
into-
artifacts too? All the
Yeah,
Artifacts and everything?
we put everything, I'll put it, in fact, what I've done, I can pick them up tomorrow, I'm off on another topic, but we have a lot of the originals. The bylaw, and I'm getting real nervous because I never expected, this is gonna be the 15th one we've done. And they're getting beat up. So I had a place at East Greenwich that does this stuff, I had them print the first 9, and they're mounted on home court. That's so I can put them up
And it's better than
and
usual.
roll the others up before
Yeah.
they're ruined.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're gonna do a bunch more, but anyway, and that way people can walk around and look at them. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. My eyes have been dry.
I gotta get, there's a water fountain out there, right?
I got some bottles in my own office. I'll just give you one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here, it's only taking me a second.
One of the women that works in the library had us do one during the winter, because she works part-time up at the one in Gloucester.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
It's a nice one,
that,
and
yeah.
we did a nice one up there.
Yeah.
Not that the place was small, too. I think Jessica, that's the assistant head over there, so she contacted me,
So, I guess, let me just make sure, which date do we want to do then for the public meeting? Do we want to do Wednesday, the 20th or Thursday, the 21st?
I can do either or, so,
Doesn't matter.
I mean, if we need to have the state people here, then we need to do it on the morning.
It's probably preferable to have them here if they can
We
come
need
on
their
Wednesday
buy-in.
and just do it on
Especially as they're gonna
Wednesday.
do the final approval of the project, so
Really?
this way they'll have
Yep.
some buy-in.
If it's possible, then, yeah, I guess we'll say Wednesday, the 20th.
Mhm.
Okay,
Find out what time we can get in there too, so if I have to set up.
yeah,
Or for
I'll
Thursday.
confirm with the town clerk. Well, and yeah, and if there was a problem with the council chambers, then obviously we just figure out where the next best place is, but. Oh, I think when I looked at the town calendar, there's nothing going on that day that I could see. So, all right, should we do it? Let's just do a motion
Okay.
for that too then, and I'll chase it down.
Right, Harris is being done,
Yep,
Yeah,
Arkwright and Harris.
Mark Wright and Harris.
Yeah, we took green out of the project.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, I'll make a motion to
I'll
have the,
sweeten the pot and bring some things on Harris and Arkwright
Okay.
All right,
that you can put out.
I thought you were gonna say brownies, but
No,
you really want
no,
brown?
no food for you.
I was more along the lines of food, but okay. Make a motion to have the meeting on the 20th.
Running it,
Make a
I
motion.
will second that.
All in favor?
I,
Opposed? You got,
okay,
okay. We're moving on to the anniversary, 250th anniversary of the planning. Without a pen? No, I don't have one.
So this can be one co-branded event with the 250th, but yeah, I figure this is a good one probably to keep on the matters carried over so that as ideas come for things that we might want to do, and it doesn't always have to be specific events. Sometimes it may end up being like I don't know if the town hosts specific historical events, I could use it as PSA and let you guys know. But even things like if we wanted to put stuff on the websites, otherwise generate pamphlets to hand out and stuff, we could think of things to do for the 250th. But again, I figured it made sense to keep a standard thing on the matters carried over for that. I will note that, yeah, before the meeting, Paul handed over the pamphlet from that would have been was that the 200th
The
then?
25th?
225th, the one I gave you?
Yes.
Yeah, 225th.
Okay. Which, that one I'm sure Maria will be interested to see too. So hopefully some good ideas will come out of that, and I think probably between now and the next time we meet, there'll be another occasion to talk to Maria. So if there's any clearer of a calendar, like if an event calendar is starting to come into focus, I could try to bring that one back over to you guys, and who knows, that may spark whether we see gaps in the calendar and know like, okay, somewhere like whatever, say like the spring, for example, looks like they're light on events for the spring. We could do something here, or a subject matter area, like you get an idea. Maybe that's a good place to start. So anytime when you thinks of anything too, feel free to just email it. I can use my email account as the receptacle for
Idea?
ideas and just keep on a rolling basis bringing them in.
Steve.
You know, the place has gotten interesting ever since they cracked it open to start renovating it. You never know how many extra rooms they found.
What I wanna know is how many critters came out.
I do and I don't at the same time want to know.
Don't leave your lunch on your desk. They're starting this in December. They're actually starting it now, right?
The 250th stuff, yeah, they wanted to do it where they began basically frankly this summer with some of the first stuff. I think they considered their kickoff to be June 21st at the town fair event. They read the proclamation, and in this lead up to July 4th, 2026, that's when they want the bulk of the events to happen. Part of it may even just come down to, I know for certain events they're saying, fireworks will be in high demand, reenactors will be in high demand. So I think they're trying to get out in front of it for some of this,
Good luck.
which I like the way they're thinking at least. And hey, if there are events that are really popular, then in theory, if other people are still keeping the party going, like they start in July 4th, 26, we could follow suit, I'm sure the town will come up with other things.
So, how often are they meeting to discuss that?
They haven't been on a regular schedule yet. Maria just sent an email that said, yeah, looking at, in basically early August, touch base again.
Mhm.
So, yeah, they may hopefully settle into more of a rhythm, but for right now, I think out of the last one, they're trying, right now, it's basically she convened like me, I think, Parks and Rec, like a couple of people, some people from the library, just to like initially wrap our heads around what's the bare bones calendar look like, and then how does it grow?
Mhm.
So again, I'll keep you posted as whatever this next one is, and hopefully that gives some more clarity as to how it's gonna, I don't know,
Gel.
formalize or whatever.
Gel.
Yeah.
You'll see when you read that, how involved the town was back then with the JCs, with the school and the kids putting on stuff and things like that, so.
Community.
They had said at the last discussion, well, at least they were starting, you know, because it's the first discussion, to say, you know, there have got to be good ways to engage with the schools, so we should think about that. So hopefully
Yeah.
there's some ideas at least.
Kids could have fun doing stuff.
I think it's good. I mean, hey, you know, they'll be the ones most likely to be around for the
For the next one.
for the next one. So somebody's got to know what happened the first time around.
Well, I hope somebody's documenting all of this stuff so that next time around they'll have the planning process and
Yeah.
written down somewhere.
Of course, by then we could be in hover cars.
This is
Yeah,
true.
AI will
Oh,
take care of it all,
yeah.
so we won't need to be worried about remembering anything.
Nothing
I'll
better
be
than
around
plan
for
on
that
that.
fair. I will not be around.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll move on to the ongoing project list.
Nick was nice enough to send over this Excel sheet.
Good, because I haven't done it.
The idea, at least in my mind, of bringing it back was, well, twofold. One of them is I know that we've accomplished a couple of things like mission and vision statements,
Mhm.
getting those finalized. But also that, yeah, just a couple of these had responsible mayor had Aaron, and so I thought, well, if we're cracking it open to see where we currently stand, which things we might want to take next, then yeah, we could also just look at the handful that had her name on them, and if anybody felt like taking them over, then we could update it while we have the document open. So, I don't know, we can just take a quick minute. And I think this is editable. So I'll just fill this as, what's a good, maybe grayish, just to say that it's done.
So our very first item on here, are we going to reinvigorate moving the historic zoning ordinance forward?
Yes, I've been waiting for the day, that it gets taken up, because it's been with the solicitor. And so,
Really, this long, huh?
yeah,
Huh.
there's a lot of,
I can
That's where-
understand. I mean, this is crazy right now for them, so.
and if you've got, yeah, you know, I actually don't necessarily know. I just assume that most of them seem to have multiple towns, so,
Mm,
you know, I can understand if things get backlogged. So anyway, but that's,
Mhm.
it exists, as we all know, the draft exists.
Yeah,
It's,
the hard part is
In
done,
line.
so.
yeah, it's just getting it onto an agenda.
Mhm.
So that's it's, we've done the work that we can with it. And so now it's just a matter of when's it gonna get picked up next? And I've asked, you know, so we've done mission, it's vision and mission. Have we gotten goals and objectives yet? Because
No,
I don't think we've gotten that far.
no, I
Yeah.
started doing a little bit of research on it, but only half-heartedly, so I'll get kicking back into that and
okay,
bring some introductory materials on setting goals and sort of thing. We'll think about it a little bit and come up with a package or something to bring.
it's a good season for it. Even my housing planner's trying to think about, because he has like an ad hoc task force or something like that. And he was trying to think along the lines of what should their goals be, so.
Mhm, mhm.
Who knows? When you get to it, by all means, but you'll be in good company when you do.
Yeah. Well, one thing is I'll make sure it ties in completely to the vision and mission statements, because this is like the next step after you get your
Mhm.
vision and mission, then you're
Yeah.
gonna, how we're gonna achieve those things.
I know, it's a good feeling, right? We've got an iterative process to build
Mhm.
off of.
Yeah.
It's, um, I'm just trying to skim through quick. Publicize the historic cemetery's GIS map, establish a points of interest designation for marketing. I don't think we've done any of those ones yet. Colleen, where is with the town website? Is there anything much new besides just cleaning up the back end stuff?
No, it's just waiting for me to get with Cory and sit down and
Mm-hmm.
give it to him in a format that he can transcribe into
Mm-hmm.
into a website.
At least that one is in the hopper.
That's in the hopper, pamphlets are in the hopper, an actual plan is in the hopper.
Mm-hmm.
But none of these things have trickled out of the bottom.
So what are those things you're talking about? The pamphlet and the plan are
Mhm.
in the hopper? What are we talking about? The pamphlet, is that the one where we're gonna have the points of interest on?
Points of interest, I would like to get the map in there if I can, but I don't know how that's gonna happen. Trying to keep it inexpensive to
Mhm.
print.
Mhm.
So here's what I normally do. When I have a pamphlet that I'm trying out, I print them on a printer, just a regular printer, fold them up, try it, see how it
Yeah.
works.
Mhm.
If it doesn't work, you
Prototype it.
go back and tweak it. My printer prints maximum legal size paper. It doesn't have the
I can-
option
I
of
can
printing
print
11 by
bigger for you.
17. So if you can print 11 by 17,
I
that
can-
gives us a bigger,
I can print up to 13 by
Yeah.
19.
That's
If
like
you
the
do both
trifold, that's a trifold that then
Yep.
opens even more, and that's where you get the
Exactly.
map.
Trifold is
Yeah.
more of a legal size, right?
usually when you get a trifold pamphlet, it's usually a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper.
Right.
And it kind of looks something like that.
Mhm.
And that's what people see. The problem with that is if you're gonna put the map on it, by the time you open it up, kind of small, tough to
Mhm.
see. So especially if you wanna put a legend and so if you can go
Yeah.
bigger, then you can have more space. And so what a lot of people do is they'll take 11 by 17, which is essentially 2 pieces of paper, and you fold it in half, you have a booklet,
Mhm.
and then you have your map on the inside, and you have all this space that you can do what you want.
So.
Now, it costs more to print that once you get to the actual printing part of
Mhm.
it. It depends on, you know, if you
That's-
wanna
yeah.
try the small one first. If you use a legal size piece of paper and try to imagine this is legal, it's usually 4-fold. And so you fold it, and this is not a legal size piece of paper, so it looks funny, but it's usually a 4-fold. Which gives you roughly the same dimensions as this,
Mhm.
but it has 4 folds instead of 3. So
So the current one that we have was a hand-drawn map, right?
paper was not folded, it was just a piece of paper.
How big was that? I can't remember. Was it, I think that was,
The legal size piece of paper, I don't know, yeah, well, this
See,
is
'cause the map
not
fits on that,
technically
but-
legal, that's actually legal is a little bit longer than this, but
oh, look at that.
that's what they use,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so. So if you took something like this and folded it, and then on the very inside of it is where you put your map, we could try that and see how it works. I'd rather not have it hand printed.
I hear you.
But if you want to try it, again, I got
You
both,
have a big one.
I have both sizes, because I do different sizes for printing things out for my own stuff, for my business, or.
Some price comparisons too, because I know how much a trifold costs, and I have a pretty good idea how much the 4-fold costs. I have not priced out the 11 by 17.
Unless it's heinously more expensive, I think your gut instinct is probably right for a map of this nature, that it would probably make sense to have ultimately be able to fold it out as 11 by 17. I see a lot of like the 8.5 by 11 trifolds, so a map of this much surface for trails, like at trailheads if they've got a little bin.
They're cheap,
because-
they're easy.
And it's, you know, there aren't so many features. It's more like the general, how many right turns before I have to make a left at this giant
Yep.
rock, you know, as opposed to like, especially if we're talking at a decent scale of the
You want
town,
decent scale,
houses and
you
things.
want cross streets.
Yeah.
You want route numbers that people would be able to find.
A little more like a roadmap
It's
that
more
way.
like a roadmap, exactly. And essentially, that was kind of my plan, is to take a simplified roadmap and then just overlay, to use publisher, the little spots. And that way you'd already have a pre-done 2-scale map. And then just put your little dots on it, or numbers, or whatever you want to do, and then run the legend down the side.
So
That's
if we
right.
had legal size, this is legal size,
Yeah, so
and we did a trifold, it would look like this.
it would look like that.
And you open this, and this is your note, your narrative, your list of places, and then the other two-thirds would be your map.
I might have,
Not necessarily. And I'll
give me,
just tell you,
I might be able to find a sheet. and
I
print your-
use Publisher for myself,
So do
to
I.
do things for my business,
Mhm.
and
That
I
makes
have it on both sides. I set it up so it's printed, so you could do the map on the inside
And
and the
then just-
info on the back.
So when you open that top flap,
Yep,
so now
then you
open the
got
top flap,
town stuff on the
and
outside.
right on that inside flap, that's where you put your legend. Right
Yeah.
on that blank spot, right there.
Oh, this is the
Legend.
legend? Want to go like this, and it's over here?
You could do it that way.
I think, I don't know, legal on a
Back and
trifold
forth.
seems like a lot of opportunity for me.
Yep.
So there's plenty
And it
there.
depends on what else you want to put on there.
Yeah.
I mean, you want some type of contact information, the town's logo, the mission and vision
Yeah.
statement. I mean, those are things, other
There's
things. you
kind
wanna
of
put on
just-
the
You don't
side.
want to really be much smaller than this.
No, I
People
don't.
would be able to-
Absolutely.
I'm always game
So
for,
that's 11 by 17.
Yes,
Yeah.
so that's the size, so like,
Yep.
So if you
Not,
fold it
not
in
in
half,
half, threes.
I
No, I
think that's too
would-
unwieldy for the.
it'd be like
general
half
public.
first and then threes.
not really, because now you're going 2 different directions.
So if you, but if you do it like this,
could
so I'm
do
just
it like you
thinking,
could.
do we even have enough like to say on the non-map
Exactly.
sides?
Probably,
I mean, unless, you know,
You
rather
could
than
do
a
it.
legend on the side, it could be the numbered list and descriptions of the properties going down.
One thing I would
If you fold it
recommend
like, yeah,
in these kind of
Because
projects is.
that's what they did with this. They put
Oh, yeah, yeah.
descriptions of each of the properties. If you do something like that, then you would have space to do descriptions of each of the properties you put on it. Now, that does make opening it like a map a little more complicated.
That probably makes some printing cost wise, maybe it does, I don't know, because
I don't know.
you set it all digitally and.
I have to look at the
And-
11 by
and,
17 printing
Microsoft
cost. But I
Publisher,
haven't-
and it's just, you can send a digital file.
At any rate, I think it would be best to get the product put together in its simplest form, and then upon the success of that first edition, then we can add more to it later, for the interest of getting it done, you know,
So if you
just get
took,
something done.
I don't think this is actually legal. I think this is actually longer than legal, but if you were to. So in order to put these types of descriptions, you need, I mean, this is 2.5 pages, and we'll probably have more. You can also use 2 pages,
Mhm.
and now you have a 4-page
You
book.
mentioned before that on that list, a lot of those places don't even exist
They don't,
anymore,
They
so.
don't, but there's
ours
other
will be a
ones
lot
that should
shorter
probably
than
be
that.
up there.
But we could add, like you said, there might be some that we would add later or something.
And I would put, some of these things I would put, just little, no longer exists, but this is where was.
site of.
Yeah, site of. But yeah, so there's a couple of options. And that's has not that I haven't thought.
I think
about.
that'd be such a cool thing to pass out when we ever get a table
Oh,
to
yeah,
to do an
absolutely.
event. It's like, here, have this, and that way they can open it and we'll discuss it a little bit and give them the ones that we think they should go see and, like travel guides.
And that's what it is. It's a
Mhm.
travel guide around town.
Yep.
And what would be really cool is to put, if that summit thing has gone through,
Mhm.
to put that on there as up and coming, because that's gonna be a
Mhm.
snack bar stop.
And that new
Yeah.
owner would be happy to interface with us on something like that to bring in customers.
He'd probably be happy to, yeah, put them out.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah,
sure you would, I'm sure you would. Most places, well, the library will put out just about anything you
Yeah.
give them.
Mhm.
but if we can help businesses along the
You
way
put
too, that
things
would
in
be cool.
hotels, mobile hotels,
Yeah.
they put stuff like that up
Hmm.
too, so. It's just having them, so I'll have a mock-up for next time. Well, September, I'll do a 8.5, 8.5 by 14, and I'll look at the 11 by 17 costs and see what that.
Just some starting point.
Mhm. These are all things that,
We've got these 2 Reed School related ones. Kevin's got the information.
Reorienting desks at Reed Schoolhouse.
just
Me
a
and-
crew driver and a.
Now,
time.
first of all, do we have, I mean, if we wanted to go do it tomorrow,
Do what?
turn the
Turn the
desk
desk
around,
around.
is the town okay with that?
I don't think they care.
I've given, yeah, I don't know that they have a real stance anyway.
But
But I passed along all the information to Kevin, and
Yeah,
he confirmed that he got it and said, all right, we'll start looking at it. So,
That was
I
the
mean-
end of that.
it's from what I've heard.
We can go over there and do it.
However,
I just didn't want to, I'm just asking the question, because we don't want to go do it and then find out, no, you're gonna put them back the way they were.
Oh, no, I don't know.
The power to
You
be.
do it
I'd
and
be surprised.
go, oh, we
Yeah,
need to go
right.
do this and go in there and turn them back around
Oh
the way
my
they
God,
were.
that would be for a sitcom, huh?
I know.
Oh,
But you figure, why would they? Well, I don't know. I
Well,
mean,
you-
it makes sense to ask, but
Already been turned.
yeah.
did you ask him?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd sent over because that was in the list of,
Okay.
wasn't the Word document?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Mhm.
So he's definitely got that Word document
I'm
and the
at a
photos.
point where I could do that sometime in the next couple of weeks.
That's a screw gun and.
Yeah, just let me know.
Not on a day that it's 90.
Yeah, I don't wanna be in there with
Well, that's
that
true.
Maggie and
It's gonna be
hot.
hot in there,
Yeah, that's true enough.
but we could.
You let me know because you're the busy guy. I'm just hanging out.
Well, we don't even have to do them all in one day,
Sure.
go up there.
We might do 1 or 2 and say, hey.
Might
this is
have, do
crappy
1 or
work,
2 and
let's go.
have a beer.
No, what you do is you bring the cooler with the beer with you.
But I got all, I got the battery operated screw guns and everything.
Yeah.
so make
Yeah,
it-
I got a good one
Make it,
too.
make it easy,
Mm.
but we don't have to do them all one day, go up and
Yeah.
go out.
You have to screw them back in anyway. Why do they have to be screwed in? They need to be
They're,
secured.
because they're designed to be mounted, I think. I don't,
Well, I'm saying
they
that.
might tip over if a kid's in
Right,
it.
so the kids don't go to sit down and tip them over, that's why,
I'd have to look
Hmm.
at them again.
Me
Maybe
too.
those in there, they should be secure, just.
yeah, but anyway, it's not a big deal, it's just,
Yeah,
okay. So we can do that sometime in the next month.
yeah, we should at least go in with our tools and
Yeah.
experiment on one or two
Yeah.
and say,
So
we
you've
don't
got
have
the
the
right
right
one.
tool, or this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Because the minute you screw them to the floor, you limit what you can use that building for. I mean, if you wanted to use it for
oh, like for a dance or something, move all the tape.
a conference or a meeting or something, you could,
Get the little fiddles
Like, yeah, exactly, the
At a
barn
different,
dance.
if that thing had internet or whatever, it's too bad. It'd be nice to be able to use it for presentations like
Yes.
this,
I think
public meeting.
an internet, I have a hotspot. It goes anywhere I go. You wanna do a presentation out there, we can just pull the hotspot.
Will it be too hot though by
Well,
August?
August is gonna be too hot,
No,
but by the
depends
time
when
you
you do
get into September,
Yeah,
October.
don't do it in August.
It's,
don't
they're
do
just, they're up
January,
against the
then-
grant deadline is all for this one. However, there may be an opportunity then, maybe we come up with something else,
Yeah.
a presentation of our own,
Yeah.
and somebody that we bring in or whatever,
We could do a puppet show.
Hmm.
Why?
Well, we could have all the characters from the, back in the day around here, like the 1800s characters and, yeah.
One crafty person makes puppets, I'm sure.
these,
Fine.
one, these,
The number 9 one, I'm thinking can be removed.
Number
Why is
9
the
in
main
yellow,
library
I
on
think.
Why did we put, you mean Summit Library?
probably meant Summit Library.
Yeah,
Oh.
green is their own entity.
Yeah, that was,
Summit's been.
that's
done.
Summit.
Summit,
No,
Summit's been
Green
sold.
libraries will get mad.
The athletics
Yeah.
center, they're gonna be auctioning it off.
No, that's,
The old
that's a
police station.
St. Germain store, that issue.
Yeah. St. Germain store is collapsing,
I gave it a shot. with
and
this
the old
transportation
police
improvement
station, they
program.
wanna make it into the fire department, last I heard.
I wish I could have done more about the St. Germain's.
Hmm.
Maybe like
supposedly.
handcuff myself to
You
the
hit
fence
one,
or something.
you got, yeah.
Two things
They
they
were
heard at the
repaired.
police station that
And would it
Building
just plow me
like-
under?
for the fire departments want it,
Yeah,
for their headquarters.
So are we just getting rid
that'd
of,
be good.
There's no
9?
Point in,
Yeah.
yeah.
Some of them, they're already, I guess effectively is a historic
Mhm.
preservation solution in the sense of,
Yeah, and these were big deals too, that we're just crossing them off now.
Well, when we put them up, on.
All
we
right,
gotta
you can
put them-
cross
yeah,
off
but-
construct terrace seating area across from there too. That's kind of, which was in my hands 10.
Number
How
10,
come? Well, I mean, all because of the money?
Mhm.
what was it,
the
the,
pink granite.
has the money gone to something else or is it just the amount to raise? Was there already money secured for it?
No, there was not.
Okay,
It's-
I mean, cause the alternative would just be to kick it to like, well, I guess
Well-
this is the long term.
Well, one of
You
the,
could either keep it on and say,
then
like-
it's like, well, back to the other, you had the fences for Reed Schoolhouse, which are in bad condition. I sent you the pictures of them.
Yep.
If you went there and looked at them in person, you'd get a better idea, but I mean, it's just a question, the town's not gonna, what's the use in getting estimates on it? It's nothing's gonna happen. The town doesn't have any money.
Mhm.
They're
Well, the
in
thing
dire
is-
straits.
Yeah,
They're not
well, we
gonna-
gotta fight for it in the budget time and say, we
Well,
need 5 grand
These
to
are-
do
Yeah, but it's not that.
20 grand, whatever.
You're talking 10 to 20 grand to do
Mhm.
that work and, well, to do them historically correct. I say that in, out of wood that's painted in
Mhm.
cedar, done correctly. There's a lot of fencing there
Mhm.
and,
I say we submit it anyway, regardless of what it
So,
is.
that's the
the
question.
worst they can do is say no.
We could give them like, we could give it
Don't
one,
think
we could give it at least 1 year's try and then if not.
I can get an estimate for doing it, but I haven't done it only because it's like everything that's going
Yeah.
on with all these things and
They were
John
managing.
Pond situation, all of it, that I don't think the town's gonna be having money to spare to give to that project. That's
Yeah,
the
but I
problem.
think, Alex said this too, is we need to go through the motions to request it during the budget season. And we don't need an estimate or anything, we just give our own estimate, like, 20 grand.
Mhm.
Um,
Best guess.
Put it in the
doesn't have to
budget,
be an
you know.
actual-
Yeah, I'll
and-
do it by linear footage.
they'll
There you go.
probably say no, but
Yeah.
this is how I always did it, is we had a project that we wanted
Yeah.
to do. Throw it in the budget, lobby for it, push for it.
If they don't. do it,
There's
they don't do it.
sometimes something to be said for like even just deactivate telegraphs.
Mhm.
You know, there's someone out there that calls it a priority. Sometimes that's it. Maybe doesn't happen that year, but
Mhm.
it's enough to say, like,
You
oh,
want to
okay,
see.
you know, yeah, and
You're supposed
it's
to see. And
it's a precedent for your next ask and your next,
Yep.
and then it builds.
Well, we should write it
but-
up too. We should write up when
Yeah.
we do our budget, we should write it up.
And if you're gonna do that, you need to do it for the other things there too, that need fixing,
Oh,
like the
for the whole
roof on
roof?
the
Oh,
outhouse.
absolutely.
It should be just listed,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know, in the windows, to
Yeah.
take the plexi off, to fix because, you know, they are falling
The
apart.
bulkhead.
I would say if
And
none of
there's
that
3 or
gets
4
done,
things there that should
then
just be
we'll
written up
submit it
as for
on the budget.
needed
Mm.
Yeah.
work at the Reed Schoolhouse Center.
Well, you know, the thing is that property is well restored.
Yep.
I don't wanna call it the flagship of historic Coventry, but I think it is as far
Well,
as
it
its
is for,
condition.
it is for original schoolhouses, wonderful
Yeah.
schoolhouses.
It's very visible to
Yep.
hundreds of people every day. And I think that if they were ever to fund a historic project, that would be the
Yep.
one to keep up what they've already invested in it.
Mm.
Did send Alex the pictures of the roof of the thing and the windows too, but I think that needs to be just the whole
Well,
thing this is how much is needed to do the
And
necessary
things
work.
that we
Proposal, we'd write up a
submit
proposal.
on a
Yeah.
budget, and they say, well, this can go to whatever department, that also it gives them a dollar amount or a list of things that need to be done, but it also gives us a way to track whether it gets done or
Yeah,
not.
we can also have a backup plan, like, I don't know what the number would be, say, we are requesting an unbelievable amount of 35 grand. And they say, no, can't do 35 grand. Well, can you do 5 grand?
Can you
do
break
10
it up
grand?
into
Yeah, we'll do
projects?
these, you know, and we get something, that way they feel like they're getting a deal too.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, if we can break it up into pieces, which reminds me, I talked about that afterwards, then that gives them smaller chunks to deal with as
Mhm.
opposed to the whole 35 grand in one shot, which we're probably not gonna get, but it doesn't hurt to keep
That's
putting
our
it in
starting
front of
point, you
them.
know, we ask for that and take what we can get.
Mm.
Now, number 6 there, would you just put Nick's name instead of Aaron? You pretty
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
took that over.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah. And we can take out the word green now too.
True.
Yeah. And then the data standard.
Okay, let's talk about 7 then, since my name's on that
So,
one and I've
oh.
done some work on that. Anthony's signage is very faded, but I mean, you can still read it. The Harris sign,
Almost.
can't read
Yeah.
and I did take pictures before,
Yep.
so I have all the info on it. And the question is that something that you really want to get an estimate on, recreating that sign?
Hmm.
Yes, I will.
Where would the funding come from? That's not the same bucket of funding as Brown signs, right? Is there
No.
any
I
that
have no
Maureen has
idea.
gotten before
No,
from the
the
state?
brown signs were free, but that would
Yeah.
not be free.
Yeah.
That one, that was, I think donated at the time, maybe.
Probably.
I think it
because
was.
Is it common for these sorts of signs to have like a business sponsor or something?
Maybe the mill would sign it, would sponsor it, the
Yeah.
Harris Mill.
That's possible.
Yeah, someone would have to approach them.
Hmm.
It's a different group. Again, right there, they just did that beautiful job restoring the other building and the stone building.
Yeah.
And I have them in here, because I've saved it just in case. He says, I'm like my grandpa, I don't throw stuff away. That was,
Someday your children are a curse.
the mill conversion. And I had the name on here, but it doesn't matter, it's on here. You know, I thought it might be appropriate to ask them, since it literally abuts where they have the tables and stuff out there, to see if maybe they would
Conversation.
contribute towards it at least, but we'd have to know what it's gonna cost first to do
We're
it.
gonna get the estimate.
So I'd have to get a sign company
Hmm.
to give a quote
The town
on
doesn't make
doing it
that
and
or something?
installing it.
I don't think that they do. The only recent thing that I can think of is the road signs, like the Welcome to Coventry white ones.
Coventry, yeah.
But I don't know whether the town made those. I was asked recently by the planner in Foster, what did it take to get those in the ground? So I did ask like how literally were they made, but what was the approval of the state? to get
Right,
that
to put
done?
them on the side of the road, yeah.
But I might be able to ask, yeah, if the town literally made them itself. I could try asking that. If not, then, or, you know what I mean? If they say,
Signs, right?
I thought they were wood.
There would.
No,
there
no,
would.
no, it's not. It's metal or plexi that it was, the stuff was painted on and then
Oh.
letters put on.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not wood.
They did a
Uh,
good
the
job of
stuff-
making it look
the
good.
stuff peeled off because of,
The welcome to carpentry ones?
no, I'm talking about the one for
You're talking
Harris.
about Harris.
Oh,
I'm talking about Harris.
Yeah.
so the Harris one would be another,
That's a
Plexi
whole
one.
stuff. It's a special, it's
okay.
a special
okay.
material used. It's not really plexi, but I had, and I only know because I had signs for my business made many years ago out of the same stuff. And over time, if they're out in the weather,
They
they
would
will
fall.
have happened like that
The
one did.
letters peel,
So
don't they?
I would suggest, for lack of a better word, that I contact the sign company because things have changed. I mean, that one was done 25 years ago. They may have a better material or a way
yeah.
of doing it that would last longer.
Well, we talked about East Greenwich Historical has had a great project for signage. in
Yeah,
theirs.
I know, and I've got I talked to the guy who was responsible for that.
Yeah.
And
Who
in
would you
terms
do
of
that?
like someone like us in the group, he was the chairman of the committee. And he gave me the name of the company they used, and I have that all. And I did that back when we first started talking about this, because I was involved in the Situate historic signage thing that's going on. Because I provided them with pictures and info and that, but one of the heads of that had given me info, and I don't know, again, I have people I can talk to find out currently who they're dealing with, you know.
It's the standard,
Yeah.
Yeah.
metal, vinyl, whatever it is, outdoors all the time, needs to stand up to it.
Just say, do what you did for.
Yeah,
East
but it's
Greenwich,
based on how
again.
many words there are and everything else, so I have to give them, you know, the pictures and all that. It's not like it's that easy to just throw that out there and get an accurate estimate.
So you just wanna redo what's up there, right? You don't wanna change the
Well,
wording,
yeah,
do
because it
you?
was all a description of the history of the Harris Village and the mill.
Mhm.
So your idea of the mill people, who that
That's a good
group,
idea.
which is very big, they have the Anthony Mill as
Mhm.
well.
Brady Sullivan,
Maybe
is that the
they'll-
company?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
doing something to help out or whatever, good way to try and get it, but again, they're gonna say, well, you know, let me see what you're trying to do. So you need the,
You
you know,
gotta
the
tell them.
graphic, you need a
You
graphic,
gotta tell them something.
Yep. which
Say,
puts more work on me, I know.
It's, yeah, I mean, I don't know,
Yep.
for whatever it's worth, I would think. Yeah, maybe worth pursuing.
Well,
But
it
it's just-
goes back to the thing,
leave
the
it
town's
go.
not gonna.
I would figure probably, I'd be surprised if the town, I mean, unless the town means we contributed some meager amount
I
from
mean,
our
this
own
is-
budget to it.
I'm looking at this all like something that should be done for the 250th.
Yeah.
Cause these were all important villages and
I don't, that's why,
growth of this town.
I think that's right, like,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would blame us for like chasing down what it would cost and approaching them.
I would say find out, cause
Yep.
what I think we could probably get the town to do is put them up. So.
They might donate the labor, you're
The
saying,
labor,
yeah,
we do
yeah,
the post. And then
Hmm.
if the mill will donate the sign, then it can be kind of a 50,
Yep.
not 50, but.
And of course,
25,
there's always
75.
others too, you could, you know, could be approached, whatever. And one that I think in particular is, because I go to eat often enough, is Bill's place, Bill's Pizza.
Are those,
Because he's very much and he really likes his history. He's got all the pictures of old Phoenix and that in there, and he talked to me, because I went in with Jerry Tellier, who was president of Patuxent Valley Historical one day. And we got talking, but he's actually redoing the Harris Fire Station right now.
Mhm.
Cause I went there last week and I
Yeah.
saw they're doing the renovating and putting the dormers on the third floor, so they're actually doing to it. So, and he's, you know, got a very successful business right there in Harris and cares about the village. So again, someone.
is that Harris where Bill's Pizza is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it is?
yeah,
it's right
I
at
grew
the
up
edge of
with
it.
Bill.
But it's
Yeah.
not,
I was a kid when
but
he.
Bill's,
Yeah.
Bill isn't,
Business.
Bill's is in Coventry.
Huh?
Bill's restaurant isn't in Coventry.
No, but I, worked for Famous Pizza.
but he's another one that is
Yeah.
historically friendly, you know, in that sense,
Yeah,
that he cares about
yeah.
it, so.
Yeah, I don't care, he wouldn't care if the restaurant's not in Coventry, because it's all
But
booked.
it's Harris,
all
so,
booked.
yeah,
Well, is he Harris or Phoenix now, if he's in West Warwick?
he's in West Warwick,
Is that Phoenix or Harris?
that's Phoenix.
Yeah, so
But the
technically,
Harris Fire
yeah,
Station is
it's
right on the
Harris.
line.
yeah, so.
That is
it's
the line, yeah.
technically in
Only,
Phoenix.
I've been intimately involved with it for the
Okay.
past week because of the stuff I've been doing for the people that
Mhm.
I'm trying to help with
Mhm.
info on Harris and Arkwright and
Mhm.
Lippet. And I have a 1880s map of Harris and Lippet, I'm sorry, of Harris and Arkwright. And it shows all the houses and all the buildings that were all on that side. You'd never know it because the street's much wider now.
Yeah.
But they were all, there was a horseshoe, and a place on that, there was houses right after the fire station. That's a little narrow strip now, or when it was a small
Hmm.
horse path, there were houses lining the whole thing going up that it shows anyway, so. And I've got some pictures from Patuxent Valley that are of Phoenix and Harris in the early days with, some of this stuff there and all that too, but.
Have you heard anything about the Lippet Mill? What's happening with it?
Yeah, they finally have someone that's taken over.
Yeah.
And bought it in auction, basically.
Oh, okay.
And it's Marathon Corporation.
Well, I saw
which
the
is-
sign,
Which
but,
is a really big
oh, okay,
development
so they should
corporation.
finish it then.
Yes, they will.
Okay,
They
good.
they've got projects all over
Good.
New England
Good.
that they do this.
So
with.
you turn it into condos?
Apartments mostly,
Apartment?
yeah.
One thought that occurred, and I don't, I'm not looking for ways to hold it up, but I just wonder with the sign, should there be at least like space left in case this district, so we're about to complete the first of the two steps, the historic resources survey. I'm thinking if this thing does get listed in the National Register, should a space be left so that like a plaque or some kind of supplementary thing could be
Yeah,
affixed onto it that says, this was made a National Register Historic District
Yeah.
on this date.
Mhm.
yeah, it should.
Because it's either leave a reservation for it, so
Mhm.
maybe the sign is slightly bigger, or it would be,
Yeah,
you take your sweet time on the sign while you wait for that to
Mhm.
catch up, which the state I know is worried about whether they're even gonna get the money
Yeah.
for the CLG grant program or as much as
Mhm.
they usually do. So, the option B could take longer than we would want.
I hadn't thought about that, but they may not have any grant funds to pass on to us to do the
Exactly.
next
Yeah.
step.
That's what they were saying. They had said in a phone call is they weren't sure, just the uncertainty, that was a possibility,
Mhm.
basically, that it wouldn't be the normal cycle, like, you know, whenever the next time would come up, they just didn't know whether it was in the bag that they would have that money or not.
So I wonder if we could just do the application ourselves. I mean,
Well,
I think I
those
could
are the
just
sorts
using
of,
the examples that we have.
those are the sorts of questions to be asking them if in fact, like say at this meeting, if, you catch them afterwards and say, what's it looking like? Are you gonna get the funding or not? If not, you know, we must not be the only ones with one of these in the hopper. What would they suggest? Maybe it is possible that,
Well, we have the Anthony Village
yeah,
example. I would just clone that as much as
Yeah.
the approach. I would fill it out the same way that one was filled out.
I've never tried it myself either. I mean, I would kind of tend to think along the lines that you did, like, if we've got approved past examples,
Yeah.
why couldn't we do them? But they may have a reason why, who knows? They may know, but that's probably a good question to
Yeah.
ask them.
Because I don't know what goes on in the background when you're filling out that application. Is it just a matter of completing it, get it approved at the state, and then submit it to the website to get it into the National Register?
Hmm.
Or is there other things that happen that we wouldn't have the expertise to do, but filling out the form with good examples all around, it would not be that big a deal.
Yeah. That is something that we should ask them, I think.
Yeah.
That brings us to, well, yeah, we kind of have talked about this organized lecture series on historical topics. That maybe we could think about in more detail. I don't know. You could brainstorm a couple of topics the next time. Digitization, scanning
I
is more or
continue
less,
to
yep.
do that on a regular basis.
Preservation plan.
I'm not gonna go crazy with it, but I probably
Any
spend,
progress
I
is-
probably spend an hour a week doing it,
Any progress is better than nothing. I guess obtaining mission vision. So some of this stuff, like we've got the mission and vision set, but probably this preservation plan is still like we would want the goals and objectives, and probably like one of the goals would be make a preservation plan, So it's probably still a step or two out in the tree.
And that's a big project too, the preservation plan.
Hmm.
At least the ones I've seen as examples are quite well produced and thorough.
We may have one or two. I know that something we did years and years ago, like a decade ago, got a grant to put together some kind of it. I don't know whether it was a true preservation plan or a different guidelines document, but there may be some content to be pulled from the past.
Yeah, I've looked at other municipalities' projects too, so I have those as examples.
This one, I think, is probably what did you, either you, Paul or Nick, did either of you talk to the which is the who is the guy that owns that property? I could picture the from a satellite view, the one with the greenway over the old railroad spur.
That's my cousin, Mike Sakosha.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. That's
That doesn't mean I have any more pull.
okay.
That's how I started talking about this, because, you know, he has a huge parking lot there, and he's
Yep.
just put up a whole bunch of, he tore down the mill that had burnt.
Mhm.
And the parking lot's so big, again, and he's just kind of a cantankerous
Mm.
guy, so I don't know that he probably laugh at me when I said, you wanna donate, you know, a 20-foot strip so that you can continue it, cause the river walk from Phoenix
Yep.
ends right there. And then you cut off by the chain link fence,
Mhm.
which is right to the property. But the tracks used to go right along the edge of his property to this, it would need a little bridge, because it's where the water came through from the other thing for the power and down into the river.
Yep.
But he could easily give up 20 feet of that parking lot, and you'd never know the difference, but whether he would do that, I don't know.
There's always
Maybe
a
as a
domain.
So
Maybe as an easement.
I have
Really?
I have
Good
all the
public
site
purpose.
information on that in my office from a couple of years ago,
Mhm.
because originally Paul got it for me. One of the previous
Right.
planners,
Mhm.
Paul,
Right.
Paul
Yeah,
Sprague.
brave.
Yep, he helped me out and he got that for me, and I have
Hmm.
that stuff that showed, it's actually, I think, the pre-engineering did them all. I mean, they're engineered drawings, they're, you know, current enough in that, but that's where that started in the whole discussion, because if you got that part right there and got that done, it would go all the way up to Hope.
Mhm.
Because, you know, the rest of it is a walk again, once you get past it, that goes behind Arkwright Mill and all that. So that was the impetus to, you know, try and see if maybe we could move something on that, but
Maybe
I
if
think-
it's wrapped up in the 250th, that could make a difference.
but
If it's pitched that
the
way.
question is, should he be approached by someone like you that's part of the planning department and say, this is something that's been being done? You know, whatever,
Maybe-
with a,
I could ask Doug if what
But
he
I
thinks. Okay, I can ask Doug what
give
he
you
thinks. of
info
it.
on his site and that, you know?
Yeah. Let me ask them. Let me start off that way.
Yeah, because again, what we could do is on that site plan, basically draft on, you know, and just with colored pencil, whatever, where the proposed bike path, walk path would be. You know,
Hmm.
and see if he would be a good citizen of Coventry, since he's building stuff all over the town of Coventry. He's a big time developer. He's got projects going all over the place in the town.
So, back to the preservation plan, I guess we could put my name on that for now.
Okay.
I'll take the lead on the project, but.
And none of, and you know, I'm not even going through these things to say, you know, chop everyone, where is all this? Because obviously, you know, we're in the long-term section. It's, like I say, I figured it just made sense to review it since
Mhm.
we made it a couple of months ago, just to make sure
Yeah,
it's all
no, it's
current.
important. We need to do this on a regular basis.
Can you correct that spelling in 11? Maple Valley Road?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
thank you.
noticed I've got a couple of typos in here.
Thank
And there's
you.
also needs to be a closing parenthesis on, item number 5 in the green.
Number 5. Oh, I skipped over it. Here, right? I think I put this one in after RI 250.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, I noticed that one a couple of minutes ago and just
Okay.
made it on in.
Okay, number 11, is that what you're saying?
I think we left off at
It was
11,
Maple
yeah.
Valley Road.
Yeah, no, I-
He corrected it. He just corrected it.
Okay, and I've
Maple
done
Valley.
work
Yeah.
on that. Number 11, I've done the preliminary work on that. I created a digitized, I went there and took pictures of the stone And using my software, I created a digitized version of what it should say on it, based on what we talked about. And the thing is, we'd have to get a price on having that thing carved, which is gonna be expensive. And I have, in the meantime, not that had anything to do with that, met a stone carver. And I went to her studio up in North Situate, because she belongs to Situate Preservation Society. And I met her when she came to a couple, one of the Madison map things.
She's a
there.
craft person that does it.
Right?
Yeah, Karen Sprague. And, you know, could ask her for direction on whether or not they would could give a price, but if not, someone that she could recommend.
Yeah.
That would come out
Problem
and
with
do
the
something
stone
like
was
that.
whether or not that's town.
Cause they do
property.
everything pretty much there in their studio, you know.
We had a discussion about town
I've
property.
got to know well enough, you know. that,
Is it on
so-
town property though, the big stone?
That's the question.
Well,
Is
yeah.
it on town property that we
Yeah.
have to find out?
Because the land is owned.
Because
How close does it
So
look?
close to the
Yeah,
street.
it's
It's
close to the
On
street.
the street.
That's what
Very
we
close to the
Would,
street.
would your town flat maps show?
they could. It'd
Yeah.
be worth looking, but it's probably a coin flip if they'll give a conclusive
Yeah.
answer. Hmm.
Because you have.
If it's right up near the road, you would tend to think like,
Well, it's about 10 feet back from the road, I would guess.
Okay.
So it may be on, so
it's,
if you could look and find out who the property owner is.
I looked it up
For that,
once, I
you
don't
did?
remember. Yeah, I looked it up.
Yeah.
right.
I
But I don't
think I
remember.
remember the intersection.
I mean, I know I can do it. I've got all the town maps on my computer, so
Mhm,
that I did for doing this historical stuff. I can look it up.
mhm.
But it's hard to tell. I mean, it's right there. It's right on that edge
Okay.
borderline of whether it's on what is the road.
Well, how much easement do we have? That's the first question.
That's the question,
It's-
right?
You usually figure, I mean, a good, at least a sidewalk width in.
Yeah,
I wonder if the practical, like, if this is the realm of nothing changes on the ground, you're putting a new plaque onto, you know,
Nothing
a
changes.
rock,
The
you know,
rock is,
well, but if it's
that-
high,
as long as, perhaps if you just, you know, if the owners approach and they said, do you have a problem if we put this plaque on this rock, you know? Maybe that just kind of
Yeah, we just
sidesteps.
need to know where the sale.
yeah.
Do we, does the town have the say or does the owner?
yeah, it'd be a bummer to put, you know, to engrave it and everything, and then a couple of years later,
Well,
the owner
you're
decides
saying,
to
yeah,
yank
still
it out of
somebody
there.
else. Yeah,
So if it's within our the town's easement, then we don't care what they think.
And then again, who pays for it? The
Just-
town's not gonna pay for something on somebody else's
So-
property.
Yeah,
Looking at the zoning maps and stuff, find out first who the property owner is, so they can be duly
Mm.
made aware of it.
Mhm.
It might happen,
Mm,
but then based on the road, yeah, I go by there too, often enough.
I go by
mean,
there every day and there's
you
still no
go
plaque.
measure.
Where's that plaque?
Okay, then you get out with your tape
I
measure.
could, so
sir, And measure to the pavement
Yeah.
for me, all right?
look for the iron
Probably
rods.
kind of mean though, maybe they'll
Yeah.
stick their dog on
That's
and I
good.
go out
You're
with my
right,
tape
Dave.
measure.
Watch
Yeah.
out for poison ivy.
Seriously, no,
Yeah, I'll
just
do it.
measure from the pavement to that, and then I'll check with on the town maps and print out that area. And then if I have to come in, see Alex, I will, to get a better idea on the
Of the actual maps
setbacks
and
and
stuff.
stuff.
These ones, I think, basically probably no movement, am I right? Repair Pine Grove Cemetery wall and formalize space at the annex for artifacts displays.
You don't even wanna bring that topic up unless you wanna get me really mad.
Which one?
The 12 and 13.
Oh,
Well, 13, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, 13, they don't do it.
yeah, right.
Bring it up, bring it up.
After you threw us out of the room that we were gonna renovate and put us in
Oh,
a
yeah.
walk-in freezer.
No.
Yeah.
That is, I don't even wanna talk about it.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not-
still angry.
it's not
Not
my
your
fault,
fault.
I know.
No,
No,
it's the town's fault,
they don't
as
care.
usual.
Mm.
They don't care.
Uh,
Town doesn't care. Never
You know,
has.
so they took away any ability for us to even develop anything.
Yeah,
I think
it's
we
like,
should-
I don't have much to say either. I don't know what the plan is either,
Yeah,
but
no,
it's,
secret. Everything's a secret.
or at least, you know, whoever knows.
Oh.
Well, then moving right along,
We'll move on.
placing a sign in front of Black Rock. Is that similar? I
You
mean,
have to
it's not so much
It
a
it
survey.
wouldn't do a bit of good right now, because
Because
it's
it's
so
so-
overgrown with
yeah.
poison ivy.
Right.
That it's unbelievable, I mean,
Yeah,
the first thing that would have to be done there is to kill all the poison ivy. It's literally taken over that entire
Mhm.
face of
Who owns
the
Mm.
that?
rock, so.
Amber's.
That is
So-
They'll keep it in the long range.
yeah,
so-
I mean, that's one of those things that the Native Americans and Narragansetts and that, you know,
They were
Oh,
interested in.
they were interested, but
They wanted their
It's-
name on it. or
it's
something?
owned by the Bamford family, so it's not like,
Really?
even if we wanted to, like, if the town said, oh, we'll go take care of that, it's not on town property, and
They
we'd have
can't,
to
the
get
town
there
can't.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, town can't.
No,
But the Indians were
Yeah.
willing to do that, but
I know, so
we'll
it's
keep it in
more
the long,
complicated than it looks.
then we keep it where it is, you know, there may come a time where, I don't know, some kind of something comes up. But that's fine,
I mean,
it's still,
It should something, but again, just trying to get everybody to agree on how to go about it is the problem, you know?
and we've got things that are more easily within reach that we
Yeah.
can be working on, so it's fine. This very last batch is, yeah, just the ongoing stuff. Yeah, so that one, we're gonna have to find out what the funding situation is before we even get too far into the next, what we would want the next grant to be. Maintaining the web page, working on making the web page, soliciting input, still getting towards that. And then maintaining a rotating exhibit in a town hall display case
So,
is,
when it comes to that item, I also thought that we need to probably put a line item in here for the display cases we have here,
Yep.
because that's gonna be a place where we do a lot of hanging out and putting stuff in them. Do we have new glass in the top of
No,
that
yeah.
one over here?
not yet.
No?
No point doing it until they're done doing all their work. I mean,
Are they gonna keep it,
the
the
cases.
cases,
We
or are
don't
they
expect
gonna
them to
just
do it
throw it
cases.
out?
Well,
No, they plan to, the locations that they're in, they do plan that that would be where they'd stay for displays. They know that you wanna use them for
Mhm.
displays.
I'd
They,
like to
people
start
seem to
getting
come
something
in,
down.
they come in pretty frequently in that doorway at least.
Hmm.
I see people still sitting on the bench,
Mhm.
at the end of the hall waiting for stuff.
That's one over there.
I think they were just thinking that it's balanced that way, that like if people came in on that entrance, they would see something.
Yeah.
Are they gonna replace these beat up old doors as part of the project?
I heard that most, but not all of the doorways are getting replaced.
Good.
I think the one that's down by the building department is not,
Yeah,
but
well, that one's all right. So.
yeah, well, yeah. I suppose if any of them could wait. But I'm pretty sure these two, the one that's down there near where the entrance to all this new stuff is
Yeah.
gonna be, those ones I think are getting done.
Okay.
Well, so anyway, let me just make sure. The Sky Standards and Guidelines one is the only other one that we still had Aaron's name on. Do you want to just punt who takes that one on for now?
I can take it on because I'm familiar with the, oh, would you like
Okay.
to?
No, I
uh,
don't see it, what is it?
It's
Yeah.
that first one under the green long-term tasks.
Yeah,
Aaron's name is on it.
I have, a lot of the documentation that I can use to start that project, like the current one and the 3/12/18 council meeting where it was introduced to the council and approved, and so I have all the history, I have the document.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's good then, as our update review. Today is the 10th.
So you've made all the changes on there, so I won't need to send it to you tomorrow or anything, right? You've got it all on there?
Yeah, I can send it to you.
Yeah,
Okay,
We're canceling our meetings August 7th, right?
yeah, and we already did vote for
Yeah.
that one,
Yeah.
to do that one. The only other thing I would say for new business is I got an email from Maria this afternoon. And she says she has, in case any of you are interested, she was wondering if anybody would be interested in volunteering to, basically type up, she has a handwritten document from the 1800s listing all of the property owners slash voters in town, which basically amounts to the adult men of the town. So I don't know if anybody's interested in that, but
are we talking about like hundreds and hundreds of names that need to be
she
typed in?
said it'll take a little bit because the document's 4 feet long.
Oh my God.
So, yeah,
Um, So what do we have to do? Is it like handwritten and you have to kind of figure out what the signature says and then?
I don't know whether it was signed or, printed, but old style, with the old. Interesting.
Yeah,
So,
Her
Oh,
Nancy's
so-
handwriting is,
you know
not
what?
very good.
Right now, I'm transposing letters that are in Norma's possession that were written to the Rice family from a family in
Is it Holland or Belgium?
Holland.
Oh, yeah.
And they write in kind of broken English, because of course, that's
Yeah,
not
right.
the second language for them, right? So I've been getting pretty good at deciphering what they're trying to say.
First of all, I have to set up a magnifying glass because I can't see it.
Oh,
All right.
Hmm.
I have a magnifying glass with a light in it.
yeah.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I will make a motion to adjourn.
I will second
Oh,
that.
should we have asked for public comment?
Oh, yes, please.
we don't even have it on the agenda
Oh,
anymore.
okay. All right, so all in favor to adjourn?
I.
Opposed? Okay,
And it's 7:38 PM.
7:38 PM.